New Jersey Meadowlands as the Carolina Panthers meet the New York Giants on NBC's Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night, baby!
Panthers, Giants.
Got it.
She's on her way.
Tonight, it's me, not you. Get down, baby. Everything we work for
Comes down to this.
All right, Sunday night, here we go. Last on the lights for the ultimate show. Get on your feet, it's about to explode. Hey, Jack, it's a fact. The game's back in town. Panthers and the Giants in the nasty showdown. Stadium's rocking, time to crank up the sound. NFL's best have come to play. For every fan, there's just one thing left to say. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in the primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. 'Cause I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Number one, baby. We go to these playoffs and we gonna bring you by storm. Right here.
He's going to go deep. The pass is perfect. Touchdown, Panthers.
Sunday night football on NBC. Al and John are the best on TV. Players are ready, set the tables free. 'Cause the NFL runs on NBC.
There was a lot of snow in the greater New York area over the weekend, but tonight it is clear. The temperature is 33 degrees, and the New York Giants come out onto the field at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, ready to take on Steve Smith and his Carolina Panthers on NBC's Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, John Madden, and Andrea Kramer, welcome to the Meadowlands big game. Whoever wins this game, the road in the NFC to the Super Bowl will go through their stadium, either through the Meadowlands or through Charlotte, North Carolina. The Panthers come in hot. They've won 7 out of 8. The Giants are not. They've lost 2 straight. Carolina is 11-3. Jake Delhomme, a great comeback from elbow surgery. He's had a good year. They have a great running attack. They have a world-class wide receiver in Steve Smith. They were 8-0 at home this season, 3-3 on the road. They'll end the season here and in New Orleans. The Giants were 11-1 2 weeks ago. Everybody thought they were the best team in the league, but then Philly beat them and Dallas beat them. Plaxico Burress, as you know, is gone for the season. He's been suspended. They've been missing Brandon Jacobs from time to time. He didn't play last week in Dallas as he works his way through a knee injury, but he is back tonight, and that's big, of course, for the Giants, John. They have Jacobs back, but what else do they need in addition to that for this team to regain the form they had a couple of weeks ago?
You know, I think they have to get their confidence and their swagger back, and the way to get that back is Jacobs is going to help that, but is with their running game. You know, I felt the last 2 weeks they were kind of grab bagging in their play calling. You know, they didn't know what they were. Were they a shotgun passing team or were they a running team? And I think tonight we're going to see them say, we have a good offensive line, we have good runners. Tom Coughlin football is running football, and that's what the Giants are going to do.
Taking on the Panthers, one of the biggest surprises in the league. 2 mediocre seasons back-to-back. Nobody really expected them to be here right now. It's our first chance to take a look at them. You've seen them, of course, on tape a lot. How do you characterize this team?
You know, I'm very impressed with them. And again, you know, a John Fox team is a lot like a Giant team. They're going to be good on defense. They're going to be solid there. A very good offensive line. 2 good runners. But the big advantage that Carolina has, I think, is Steve Smith, who is one of the best big playmakers in the NFL.
The Giants have their own Steve Smith. It's Smith against Smith. It's the Panthers against the Giants. It's about as big as a regular season game can get as the Carolina Panthers come in, hopeful at the road to the Super Bowl through the NFC goes through Charlotte. The Giants hope it goes to the Meadowlands. The ultimate date, February 1st in Tampa. Big game tonight, Sunday Night Football.
College football bowl season continues Saturday on NASN with a live tripleheader. West Virginia and North Carolina compete in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. The Champs Sports Bowl brings Wisconsin and Florida State to Orlando. And finally, Miami and Cal shine in the Emerald Bowl. Bowl season on NASN.
A uniform says a lot about you. It can say you've made it, or that you're on your way. But where you end up is entirely up to you.
In anything but a Lone Star State, drama has been the standard. Healthcare has been a big question, and losses have begun to pile up. In times of crisis, leadership has shown signs of panic, but these Cowboys insist the return of the field general will reverse this course. With those factors in mind, does Dallas have your vote for a playoff berth at the end of this campaign? Message paid for by the Committee of Keeping Up with the Joneses.
It's only 22 inches tall, but it stands the test of time. It weighs in at just 7 pounds, but it carries the weight of glory. It shines with a piercing glare and burns like a furious fire. It's what dreamers dream of and what champions embrace. The Vince Lombardi Trophy. Who will hold it next? The NFL Playoffs on NASN.
Presentation of the National Football League.
A lot of crazy weather in the East this weekend. Right now, things are copacetic, but we thought we'd bring in the heavy hitters. We thought we'd bring in the man for all seasons, all 4 of them. From the Weather Channel, Jim Cantori. Jim, an update.
Al, temperatures, believe it or not, are right around freezing right now, about 32 degrees, but the air is drying out quickly, and we are expecting a whole different second half here as temperatures with the wind factored in are going to feel like they're about 19 to possibly even in the single digits. So big cold and big wind will make this a whole different game in the second half. And to find out just how much it's going to infect the players, let's go to Andrea Kramer.
Thank you, Jim. Well, I am in the windier end zone, which is the right side of your TV screen. Now, Pro Bowl kicker John Carney told me he loses 5 to 8 yards off of his kicks when the weather is 25 degrees or lower. Now, the winds are so changeable that when he goes on the field to kick a field goal, the main marker he looks for is this goalpost flag. But he also relies on Pro Bowl punter Jeff Fiegels, who he calls a wind expert. Fiegels looks at the American flag at the top of the stadium, and whichever way that is blowing, it's blowing the opposite direction here on the field.
A little wind shear, a little swirling on this 32, 33-degree evening as the Carolina Panthers will take off. The Giants won the toss, elect to receive. Reese Lloyd from England has come in. John Casey has done all of the place kicking and the kicking off for years, but they brought in Lloyd, and he's been great. Ahmad Bradshaw to run it back. Lloyd with 24 kick touchbacks this season. Number 1 seed in the NFC at stake from the 5-yard line. It's Bradshaw. Up past the 20. Ahmad Bradshaw brings it back out to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at the Giants starters.
Eli Manning, Ole Miss.
Brandon Jacobs, Southern Illinois.
Madison Hedgecock, North Carolina. Amani Toomer, Michigan.
Dominic Hickson, Akron.
Kevin Boss, Western Oregon.
Dave Deal, University of Chief Illinois.
Rich Seibert, Western Illinois. Sean O'Hara, Rutgers University. Chris Snee, Boston College.
Coonan McKenzie, Penn State.
2 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line. Eli will also be going. Brandon Jacobs is the running back on first down from the 25. They fake it to him. Bootleg to the right. And off play action, the pass is caught by Dominic Hickson, who is close to a first down. Hickson, in his 3rd year out of Akron, picked up on waivers last year from Denver. With the absence of Burris, will play a bigger part in the Giants' offense.
Well, the Panthers are really thinking run here, so they fake to Brandon Jacobs to the left. Eli Manning bootlegs out to the right and finds Hickson right there for the first down, just short of the first down.
They'll spot the ball just outside the 29-yard line. Second and a short one. Jacobs this time with Hedgecock as the fullback in the backfield. And through the middle he goes. And Brandon Jacobs, all 6'4", 264 pounds of him. Fourth-year man from Southern Illinois. It's a three-headed giant attack. You've got the hammer in Jacobs. He wears people down. And then you've got Derek Ward who comes in. And then they go to Bradshaw a lot in the second half. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And we saw last week, without Brandon Jacobs, without having the hammer, this running game wasn't as effective. I mean, they needed him as much on this down, on these first down type plays, as they did on third or short.
He is earth, Ward is wind, and Bradshaw is fire. Jacobs again. And Jacobs this time gets taken down by John Beeson, who will be going to the Pro Bowl. Let's take a look at that Carolina D.
Tyler Brayton, Colorado.
Darwin Walker, University of Tennessee. Damian Lewis, University of Miami. Julius Peppers, the University of North Carolina.
Niall Diggs, The Ohio State.
John Beeson, you already know. Thomas Davis, Randolph Clay High School.
Chris Gamble, The Ohio State.
Chris Harris, J. Fair.
Charles Godfrey, the University of Iowa.
Ken Lucas, Mississippi.
Giants with a double tight end set now on 2nd and 8. This is the first time all season Carolina has had to go to the bench for a starter on their defense. They'd had the same 11 starting through 14 games, but one minus tonight as Jacobs takes it and is tackled by Tyler Brayton. Maaki Kimoyatu, who is 6'5" at about 335 and really plugs up the middle. He's hurt. He won't play tonight, so Darwin Walker will get the spotted tackle for them.
Good play by Tyler Brayton there. Remember Tyler Brayton, when he played with the Raiders, he was one of those guys they were never sure whether he should be a linebacker or a defensive end, and they'd put him down and they'd put him back up, then down, then up. And so that's why you say, you know, how does a guy like that tackle that well in the open field? Because he has been a linebacker.
Manning out of the gun, using it more and more through the years. Manning avoids a sack and then throws deep, and it is caught by Hickson. Hickson got behind the defense. He's inside the 20-yard line of the 18. It was Charles Johnson, number 95, who got in. He got his hand on Manning's shirt. Eli able to escape, and it's a 40-yard completion.
Right, the Giants went to 3 wide receivers on that play, but this was all about Eli. You know, any NFL quarterback today has to be able to escape, to make that move right there, to buy this time right here, to let this happen downfield to Dominic Hickson.
Gamble and Harris with the coverage on the play. The ball is at the 18-yard line, and they give it to Jacobs over the right side, and he runs right into Tyler Brayton, and Brayton's able to knock him down. It's a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
You know, again, Tyler Brayton has that quickness out there, you know, to get off blocks and make tackles. I think they look at him and think, you know, he's the undersized defensive lineman. We want to run right at him, but that's been pretty tough. The Panthers had good support on that side, and really what they did is they took on the lead block of Hedgecock.
Opening drive of the game, 2nd and 9. Giants at the Panthers' 17-yard line. Hedgecock provides the blocking. There goes Jacobs. Jacobs still on his feet, and finally they will wrestle him to a hold at the 14-yard line, and the Giants will have a 3rd down and 6.
Isn't that something with Jacobs, though, is still running. He's probably the hardest back in the NFL to get to the ground. I mean, he never gives up on a run. So that means that he's going to take a lot of hits. You know, we're talking to John Beeson, the middle linebacker, last night for the Panthers, and he said, all you can do is hit him high and hope that you can hold on till the cavalry gets here. The cavalry finally got there on that one.
Giants bunch 3 receivers to the right. Manning from the gun. And that pass is dropped out in the flat as he checked it down to Derek Ward, and the Giants will have to settle for a field goal attempt by a guy who's 44 years old and will be going to the Pro Bowl. John Carney at 44 took over in training camp. He was probably going to retire. He was with Kansas City last year. Lawrence Tynes got hurt. They signed Carney, and the next thing you know, he's going to Honolulu.
Right, and it's interesting here that he is kicking with the wind, that the Giants on the opening kickoff both got the ball and the wind.
32-yard attempt. Jeff Fiegels will go to the Pro Bowl as the punter. That's a great placement as the snap was low by Jay Alford, but Fiegels was able to get it down, and the 32-yard kick is good. So the Giants score on their opening drive. The number 1 seed in the NFC at stake at the Meadowlands. 3-0, New York.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple-header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
Mike just watched the way he danced past those 2 blockers. Slam dunk.
ESPN 360. Wherever and whenever you're online, you're at the game.
Game-winning home scores!
Great moments on NASN.
Lidge with an 0-2 pitch. Got him! The Philadelphia Phillies are world champs in 2008.
For Wilson NFL and GST footballs and much more, visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
Tis the season on NASN, and we're bringing you a live NHL Viewer's Choice. The top teams battle it out in a special seasonal NHL matchup.
He scores!
Choose from Pittsburgh, New Jersey, Toronto Islanders, or Buffalo, Washington. Whoa! Log on to NASN.com and choose which game you want to see this Friday. A special live NHL Viewer's Choice on NASN.
One game, the winner goes on, the loser goes home. Sunday Night Football, Denver at San Diego next week. Back to receive is Mark Jones, who a few years ago was running back kicks for the Giants. He's done a great job running back kicks and punts this year. John Carney sends it toward the northern end zone. Jones gets taken down at the 23-yard line by Zach Diassi, Steve's son, former Giant. The Loman Company will go to work. 3-0, New York.
Live NHL this Tuesday.
Sidney Crosby jams it in.
The Lightning look to regain their scoring strike, but they face the thunderous power of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The shot.
Then 2 top guns from the West battle for a win. Canucks, Sharks.
Score!
A live NHL doubleheader Tuesday night on NASN.
Baseball gloves and much more. Visit NASN.com.
Day after day, rave us your life. Be the one you
have the ball. They'll start this drive from the 23-yard line. 9.5 to go in the opening quarter on this windy night at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Jake Delhomme had what they call Tommy John surgery. Ligament from his hamstring went into his elbow last year. And he's had a good year, but this guy's really had a good year, and that's D'Angelo Williams for a gain of 7 to the 30. Let's take a look at the Panther offense.
Jake Delhomme, Louisiana Lafayette.
D'Angelo Williams, Memphis.
Brad Hoover, Western Carolina.
Muhsin Muhammad, Michigan State.
Jeff King, Virginia Tech.
Jordan Gross, Utah.
Travell Wharton, South Carolina.
Brian Khalil, the University of Southern California.
Jeff Handgartner, Texas A&M.
Jeff Oton, Pittsburgh.
Ain't bragging if you can do it. Steve Smith is a playmaker. Delhomme has time, checks down underneath, and it is blocked by D'Angelo Williams. It'll be 3rd and 3. Jake Delhomme, of course, started his career in New Orleans. He was on the bench, then went to Carolina, and in his first year as a starter, led them to the Super Bowl in 2003. Played well, got into the championship game in the NFC against Seattle in 05, then had that surgery, John, but he's come back and looks as good as new.
Right, and it was more than Tommy John surgery. He said he had Tommy John +3, that they did that surgery plus 3 other surgeries on his right arm.
3rd and 3, they swing it to the outside. It's a backward pass, caught by Smith, and Steve Smith will get run out of bounds. John Fox applauding as he hops down the sideline. They'll spot the ball at the 42-yard line. Broke the tackle by Michael Johnson.
You know, this guy is something special. I mean, you can get the ball to him deep, you can get the ball to him short, and he's such a good runner with it. This is a screen-type pass, and he runs when he gets the ball. He runs like a punt returner. You know, so it's not one of those things that, you know, you have to worry about him deep. Wherever Steve Smith is on the field, you have to worry about him because he can make a big play from any position on any down.
Ball at the 47-yard line. That counts as a rush since it was a backward pass. It's a 23-yard rush is how it goes into the books for him. And here's Williams for a gain of 1. Let's take a look at the Giants' defense.
Justin Tuck, Notre Dame. Barry Cofield, Northwestern.
Fred Robbins, Wake Forest.
Matthias Kiwanuka, Boston College.
Danny Clark, Illinois.
AP, Arizona.
Chase Blackburn, Akron. Aaron Ross, the University of Texas.
James Butler, Georgia Tech.
Mike Johnson, Arizona. Corey Webster, LSU.
Webster will have his hands full tonight. Most of the time, he'll be lined up against Smith. And there they are at the top of the screen. You see him trail him as Smith now comes out of the slot. And 2nd down and 9. Delhomme sets up. Delhomme goes deep. And Delhomme finds Smith. And it's uncanny how Smith, a guy who should be like a magnet, is able to get so open so often.
Well, you know, they move him around a little. You know, they just don't keep him outside. And, you know, we saw he'll be in the slot. He'll be back off. Here you see him. He comes in motion here. And then instead of being the outside receiver, he's the slot receiver. So instead of Webster being on him, a safety's on him. The Giants are in a zone, and he runs right through the zone all the way across. But you have to give, you know, a lot of credit on that to the pass protection. The offensive line did a good job of giving Jake Delhomme that kind of time.
Smith comes out. Jarrett comes in. They give the ball to Williams. He'll sprint to the outside, but not very far. Corey Webster right with him to knock down the 3rd-year back who played his college football at Memphis. 2nd down.
You were talking to Corey Webster the other day, and the first thing that he said is we have to have gap control, and we have to set the edge. And this is what he's doing here. In other words, you're the outside guy. You have containment. When they start to the outside, you have to keep everything inside of you. That's exactly what Corey Webster did. It's funny talking to a corner, and the first thing that he talks about is run defense.
2 tight, 2 wide here on 2nd down and 12. Williams creased through the middle and goes in untouched for a touchdown. Right over right guard between Khalil and Handgartner. The right guard, that's a 13-yard touchdown run.
I tell you, this D'Angelo Williams is really something. I mean, he goes and he just has great moves. He's only 5'9", but he weighs 217 pounds. And he says what he does is he has that low center of gravity, and he said it's kind of like peekaboo. You get in there behind that big line, and he said the defense can't see you, and then boom, you're right through and by him.
That's how he describes himself, a peekaboo runner. Casey for the extra point. That's his 15th rushing touchdown. Williams' 17th touchdown overall this season. He leads the league. Lead the Giants 7-3.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
And Yankee fans are like oil and water. Cubs and White Sox fans at the same dinner table? Bad idea. Despite their differences, fans do have one thing in common. Their heroes all wear Majestic Athletic, the official uniform supplier for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Available now all over Europe at NASN.com.
Rush again. Romo deep ball. T.O. in the clear. Got it. T.O. TD. 72 yards. Only Jerry Rice has caught more touchdown passes in National Football League history.
Is that all you got, Helen of Troy? I can go all day long.
Go, Chris, go. You can do it. Come on,
Chest to
Chris.
the mat. Come on.
Get it. Get it. Ooh, that's good.
Oh, ow. Stop. Rotator cuff. Rotator cuff.
I've seen enough. It's over. Tommy Trojan, nice job.
It's an old bowling injury, Coach.
Forget about it.
Check NASN.com for special bowl episodes of College Game Day.
No hidden fees by your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. By Sprint, get NFL Mobile Live only on the Now Network. And by Bud Light, the difference is drinkability. Cruising down the East River. We're about 8 miles as the crow flies from Midtown Manhattan over in the Meadowlands. The kickoff taken at the goal line by Ahmad Bradshaw. And Bradshaw gets spilled at the 26-yard line. Giants will go to work for the second time from the 26. 6:10 to go in the quarter. 7-3 Panthers.
Tonight happens to be what they call the round of the Sweet 16. Who is BYU's glamour boy? Danny Ainge, consensus All-American. All right, Notre Dame University. Who's their glamour boy? Kelly Tripucka. Brigham Young started the ball game in zone after it dropped behind and went man-to-man. Kite has fouled Tripucka. Notre Dame went to Kelly Tripucka when they needed a basket. Will BYU go to Ainge? I think they will. And there are 8 seconds to go. Ainge against Paxson. 5 seconds. Inside. Ainge scores with 2 seconds. 1 second on the clock. It is all over. But it looked like Notre Dame was going to have Kelly Tripucka as the hero. The hero's banner is lost by Notre Dame, and the hero's banner goes to Danny Ainge.
Heward, pump faking. Now he looks to the middle. He's got time to throw a corner pattern. Tony Gonzalez has now tied for the all-time NFL touchdown receiving mark for a tight end. They play fake, throw it right side for Gonzalez, and the catch is made. It's a catch for Canton as Tony Gonzalez, his 63rd career touchdown catch, the most by any tight end in National Football League history.
Masters of dance will come together in TV's first global dance competition. It's Country Against Country on Superstars of Dance. It premieres Sunday, January 4th, right here on NBC. Sunday night before Christmas, and all through the house. First place in the NFC overall, and the #1 seed at stake. And we begin this drive with Jacobs taking it up to the 30-yard line, tackled by the outside linebacker Thomas Davis. At the end of November, the Giants were 11-1. Through the first 12 games, they averaged 29 points a game and 160 yards on the ground, all best in the league. 0-2 this month, losing to Philly and then at Dallas, 11 points per game, only 80 yards rushing. And in those two games, the Giants have only one offensive touchdown, and that came in garbage time against Philadelphia when the game was already over. Last week against Dallas, 2 field goals and a safety. 2nd and 6. Manning with time has the first down as he hits his own Steve Smith. One Steve Smith on either side tonight. John Beese in the middle backer, 52, makes the stop.
Yeah, remember last week DeMarcus Ware was coming from that left side and giving them all kinds of problem over here. Well, tonight they're going to have Julius Peppers. So what they do is they put a tight end over there, widen him out a little, and that helps left tackle David Deal. Last week against the Cowboys, I didn't think they gave him any kind of help, or enough anyway.
Now you've got Jacobs, and there's Jacobs running over some defenders, breaking tackles, went right through Thomas Davis and takes the ball to the 50-yard line and a first down.
You know, with Brandon Jacobs, it's all about attitude, and I think the offensive line, I think the rest of the team feeds off of his attitude. I mean, the way that he plays and keeps going and fighting for yardage, that's the energy that the Giants didn't have last week.
Jacobs fighting his way through a knee injury, hurt it against Philadelphia, didn't play against Dallas, practiced this week. You've got Derek Ward in the game now, and he is flanked to the right. And before that, you've got a timeout taken by the defense. Timeout, Carolina. 4:15 left opening quarter. Panthers up 7-3.
Four fast-talking American sports writers right there.
We got records.
Don't miss them. Get muted every day on Around the Horn, weekdays on NASN, your source for North American sports. Horn me!
I've been pushed around.
It's truly never over till it's over.
It looks good. Yeah! Goal! 3 seconds to go. And I'm not gonna get pushed this time.
As the Texans go up 3 scores on Indy.
I'm about to crack, so let's call this the comeback. They throw the ball at home. Let's call this the comeback. The Colts, I think, got it. Touchdown, Reggie Wayne.
It could be a season saver.
Let's call this the comeback.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins.
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown. What a catch.
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
Noon, you would have had some action. Then the skies began to clear at about 3 o'clock. Cold, but pretty clear in the New York metropolitan area. 1st and 10 for the Giants. 50-yard line. Here's Jacobs. Turns it back upfield. Puts that shoulder down and takes it to the 46-yard line. Turns nothing into a 4-yard gain.
You know what impresses me about the Giants driving tonight is they're staying with the run, and Carolina's using an 8-man front. And I think the Giants got into that thing before. If they use an 8-man front, we're going to throw the ball. if they use a 7-man front, we'll run it. And that didn't work. I mean, they were playing right into the hands of the defenses. And tonight, the start of the game, they're doing what they want to do.
Manning on 2nd and 6, throwing, and that'll be caught for a first down by Steve Smith. So he makes his second catch on this drive. That'll move the change. It'll be a first down at the 38-yard line.
See, and these are the type of situation the Giants want to get. 2nd and 6, then they can do this kind of stuff. I mean, just let Steve Smith out there work in the slot. He has an option. He can go in or out. If the linebacker stays in, he'll go out. If the linebacker goes out, then he goes in. And he and Eli Manning run that play very, very well.
There's Hedgecock setting up as a fullback in front of Jacobs. Again, providing leverage. And Brandon goes to the middle and takes the ball to the 36-yard line. For a gain of 2, he's tackled there by the right tackle, Damian Lewis.
And talking to the Panthers last night, they knew that they had to do something to stop the Giants' run. And they were talking, about 8 men front, which we see, and run dogs or run blitzes, which we're also seeing. With Brandon Jacobs, I mean, he's just too big and strong, and you don't throw him for losses.
So John Fox. John, at the beginning of the decade, was the defensive coordinator here under Jim Fossil for the Giants. Now in his 7th year with Carolina. 2nd down and 8 off the play fake. Manning with a lot of time. Throws to Jacobs underneath, and Jacobs gets taken down at the 31 by the linebacker, 58, Thomas Davis. And that'll make it 3rd down and 3 for New York with 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Again, last week they didn't do much to DeMarcus Ware, but look what they're doing to Julius Peppers. I mean, they have someone there. Madison Hedgecock comes out, chips him, puts him right back on deal. They go play action pass. That helps the offensive line, helps the pass protection.
When you have 12.5 sacks, you will draw a crowd. That's Derek Ward in the backfield. Ball slips up in the slot. A little toss to Ward now. And wind of earth, wind, and fire takes it to the 22-yard line where he's tackled by Chris Gamble. So on a 3rd down and 3, they pick up a first down. And Kareem McKenzie, who was hurt last week with back spasms, came out. He pulled out 67 to help lead the way, so he's healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And Tom Coughlin was saying the other day that he needs McKenzie, but he needs him not only to start, but he needs these injured guys to give him a full game. And and that's a big thing. You say, oh, he's okay to play, he's okay to start, but is he okay to play 4 quarters?
Here's Ward. Well, that's a good point to bring up too, John, because last week Wade Phillips thought Marion Barber could play, which he did, but he barely played, and they went with Tashard Choice most of the way and won the game. But Coughlin wanted to know, as you say, can you give me a full game? Brandon, can you give me a full game?
Right, and that what he was, and that's what he was thinking. That am I going to have you guys in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter when the game is on the line?
This line now has made 31 consecutive starts, or every game over almost 2 full seasons. Ward again. And Ward will get banged down at the 15-yard line. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 3 and probably take us to the end of the first quarter. It's the end of the opening frame at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. End of 1. The Carolina Panthers 7 and the New York Giants 3. NBC Sunday Night Football will continue after these messages.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, we talk American sports, so who's going to watch us in Europe?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I'm hoping for some French hotties, but I'm guessing it's going to be bald men with back hair.
ESPN's Pardon the Interruption. Join Tony and Mike for all the latest opinions and headlines weeknights only on NASN.
Day after day, rave us your life. Be the one you never be again. Day after day, leave us your life. Be the one you never be again.
2 pitch to Longoria. High fly ball, way back, left field, and gone! Grand slam, home run, Evan Longoria. And this young man's legend continues to grow.
College football bowl season continues Saturday on NASN with a live tripleheader. West Virginia and North Carolina compete in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. The Champs Sports Bowl brings Wisconsin and Florida State to Orlando. And finally, Miami and Cal shine in the Emerald Bowl. Bowl season on NASN.
Taking the New York Giants to the playoffs for a 4th consecutive season as we get ready for the start of the second quarter at the Meadowlands. Al Michaels, John Madden, Andrea Kramer. Next to last week of the season, John Fox's team looking for the #1 seed, as are the Giants. It's 3rd down and 2 at the 14-yard line, and Derek Ward is the back. And Manning will take the snap out of the shotgun. They bunch the receivers to the left and then break it with Boss now setting up in the slot to the right. And Manning throwing for a first down. That is caught by Steve Smith. So he's been an integral part of this drive. He's caught 3 passes on it. And the Giants will have a first down and goal.
You know, and the Giants are going to do a lot more of that. And I think, you know, that they're adjusting to life without Plexico Burress. And I think life without Plexico is stuff like this. You use bunch, you use little zone patterns. You get, you know, Steve Smith and you have him run option routes, and Eli Manning feels very, very comfortable with that kind of offense.
Smith is the Giants' leading receiver. He's now caught 55. Inside handoff. They give it to Jacobs, and he works his way to the 2-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Remember in the old days when every time you'd go to shotgun, that meant pass? Not anymore. It's about 50-50. I mean, there's as many runs, and last week in the Dallas Giant game, we seemed to see it the whole game, shotgun runs, and we just saw one there to Brandon Jacobs.
13th play of this drive coming. This drive has consumed almost 7.5 minutes.
Right, and the offensive line loves these kind of games because they are wearing down the Carolina defense.
Can Jacobs make it pay off? No signal yet. Now there is. Touchdown. Brandon Jacobs into the end zone.
The offensive line is saying enough of that 8-sack stuff last week. We're going to do what we do best. We're going to just get in there and pound and drive. And then with a running back like Brandon Jacobs, you just stay alive with your blocks because you know he's going to stay alive with his runs.
13 plays on the drive, 9 of them on the ground, 4 through the air, 3 receptions by Smith. The Giants have the lead again. Carney to tack on the 10th point. A minute 22 into the second quarter at the Meadowlands. The New York Giants leading the Carolina Panthers 10-7 on Sunday Night Football.
In this line of work, you need strength as well as instincts. Put it right here. Gotcha. Check this out. Ready? Go! That's why you picked me. Your move.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live tripleheader of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
Yes,
scissor glove. It's a baseball glove.
For Wilson gloves and much, much more, visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
Meadowlands, 33 degrees. Guys trying to stay warm on both sidelines. Giants on top, 10-7.
You know, when you need those heaters as a player, and you see the Panther offensive line over there, you need the heater just before you go in, not after you come out. Well, the Panther defensive line doesn't need them right now, but the offensive line is using them.
It's a bouncing ball, and it's going to be juggled and then fielded up at the 24-yard line, and that is Jeff King, the tight end, will bring it back to the 35. Every year is a weird year in the NFL. This year, of course, no exception. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, the Giants looked like they're rolling. Easy road to number 1. Carolina stumbled a little bit, then all of a sudden they got hot again. You got to give John Fox a lot of credit. That's a big turnaround from 2 mediocre seasons in Charlotte.
Yeah, and I do give him a lot of credit. I mean, he got Jake Delhomme back. He got Musa Muhammad. You know, he has a good offensive line, and you know, he has the pieces to the puzzle that he wants, and you know that he's a very good coach. I mean, he's a sound, solid, fundamental guy.
From the 34-yard line, this is Jonathan Stewart. It's our first look at the rookie picked in the first round out of Oregon. No gain. Carolina's offense, September through November, a 9-3 record with 23.8 points per game and good rushing figures. And then the last 2 games, they've just been dominant, beating Tampa Bay and Denver and averaging 223 yards on the ground per outing.
See how they keep their tight ends and wide receivers tight to the line of scrimmage? They like to work from inside out.
And again, you're looking at the rookie Stewart. Stewart and Williams, an interesting pair in that they're both about the same height. One's 5'9", one's 5'10". D'Angelo weighs about 220. Jonathan weighs about 235. So you're talking about, John, D'Angelo being a peekaboo runner. This guy can be one as well.
Right, and he's a bigger, stronger, more powerful guy, but D'Angelo Williams has the better moves, and you know, I mean, he can dart back and forth and pick holes, and he's very, very good at cutting back. And the Giants were worried about their gap control, but so far, especially on this drive, those first 2 downs, their gap control has been excellent.
3rd and 6 off the play fake. The Giants with 6 defensive backs, and it's checked off underneath, and he goes to Stewart, and Stewart across the 50 to the 48. So Delhomme looked downfield, saw the coverage was there, finally looks underneath, and Terrell Thomas winds up making the tackle, but not until it's a 15-yard gain and a first down.
Well, it's just, this is a blueprint. Remember the Philadelphia Eagles where Westbrook did this? Last week the Cowboys did it. You know, they say, what do you do to the Giants? You get the backs underneath.
They don't throw to Stewart very often. That's only his 7th catch of the season.
And we just saw Justin Tuck, normally a defensive end, working as a tackle.
Delhomme gets pressure, throws going backwards, gets it off to King, the tight end who ran that kickoff back. King able to break a Danny Clark tackle, and that will net him a first down at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's what Jake Delhomme can do. He always has been able to do this, is to make throws from every angle. I mean, he doesn't have to have his feet in perfect position or his arm in perfect position. If he sees something, that ball is coming out right now, just like it did on that last play.
Talking to him last night, he says, I sling it a lot.
He does sling it.
Speaking of slinging Sammy Baugh, the oldest Hall of Famer who was still alive, passing away last week, and we'll talk about him as we move along tonight. Meanwhile, a big hole again through the middle for Jonathan Stewart, who gets to the 31-yard line, tackled there by James Butler. And Stewart a little slow before he can get up. So an injury timeout, so signaled by the officiating crew here, as Stewart is down on the turf. 10.5 to play in the half. 10-7 New York.
Traveling north to find you. Train was beating the wind in my eyes. Don't even know what I'll say when I find you. Call out your name, love, don't be surprised. It's so many months and so long since I've met you. Don't even know what I'll find when I get to you. But suddenly now I know where I belong. It's many hundred miles and it won't be long.
NBA Fast Break covers all your NBA needs during the week with highlights, news, and analysis.
I don't see who's going to stop the Lakers right now.
With unparalleled insight from former players and coverage of all your favorite stars on the
I'm gonna
court.
have to go with Dwayne Wade. Boston Celtics still the cream of the crop.
Absolutely.
NBA Fast Break all season long on NASN.
Take a look at Jake Delhomme. It pretty much mirrors the team. They were unbeaten at home, and his rating was 100.8. On the road, where the team is 500, his rating is 63. Drew Brees would be the only guy with a larger home road differential. D'Angelo Williams now back in the game. Goes to the right, nothing there. Comes left, has a lot of room inside the 20, and is taken out of bounds at the 14-yard line, and Barry Cofield gets up limping. Justin Tuck also took a shot. He's only been in on the nickel, and now Cofield goes limping off after a 16-yard gain.
You know, and this is what the Giants were worried about with D'Angelo Williams, is cutting back. In fact, Steve Spagnuolo said the last thing he did Friday is he showed him 8 clips of D'Angelo Williams doing this. And no matter what you think, you know, you have all your gaps, you have everything controlled, and then boom, he comes right back against the grain.
Giants now have Jay Alford and Ronaldo Wynn along the defensive front with Tuck and Cofield out. And Williams probes the left side for a yard. Matthias Kiwanuka making the tackle at the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Red zone, Carolina, a touchdown on 11 of 12 drives over the last 4 games. So that two-headed rushing attack, plus, of course, the receivers in Smith, and we get to see Muhsin Muhammad catch a pass tonight, but don't forget about him.
No, but that's a pretty good combination that you bring up. They have the running back and the wide receiver that can make big plays in this area.
2nd and 9. You got Kevin Dockery now on Smith, bottom of the screen, looking that way, and the pass is caught by Smith, and Smith is out of bounds inside the 5, and they'll spot the ball at the 3-yard line, and that will make it a 1st down and goal. So they had Dockery lined up on him. Smith went to the outside, and Delhomme threads it to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the old fade stop. I mean, he's going to run a fade, and he's going to go up, and then if you start to cover him or cover him tight, he's just going to stop and come back and make a hook out of it. There's something, when you get man-on-man on Steve Smith in that situation, you don't have a chance. And between he and Jake Delhomme, they are going to figure a way to beat you. They're either going to go over the top or they're going to run that fade stop.
He lines up to the right. Panthers have scored a touchdown in their last 9 goal-to-go situations as D'Angelo Williams is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That was Terrell Thomas, the cornerback, rookie 2nd-round draft choice out of USC on the run blitz, stopping him. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
He got in there before they could get the run started, and that's the way to do it. I mean, sometimes you have to bring that 8th man up. Sometimes you have to run blitz to get a guy in the backfield before their runner can even get to the line of scrimmage.
Now Aaron Ross will line up on Smith to the left side. Give the ball to Williams, and Williams is going to take the ball inside the 1 and to the end zone. Touchdown, Williams. That's a 66-yard drive to the consternation and exasperation of Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, Travell Ward in the guard, Jordan Gross, the left tackle, Pro Bowl player. These are their two best offensive linemen, and you watch, they get a double team right there, and then Muhammad comes in, and he gets the next guy, and that provides a lane. Muhsin Muhammad, one of the better or best wide receiving blockers in the NFL. Maybe behind Hines Ward, but he's that kind of blocker.
And Williams took Butler for a ride into the end zone. That's Williams' second touchdown of the game. Casey tacks on the 14th point. 8:12 to go in the opening half. The Carolina Panthers are back up on top, 14-10.
Ever take winning for granted.
Manning now fires. Intercepted!
Didn't do enough as a quarterback. Disappointing.
He's back. Here's the blitz. He's hit! He's hit! And down he goes! Another sack!
And we're feeling sick in this locker room.
He's got to air one out down the middle. Makes the interception. Throws the right there. Intercepted. He's going to the house.
It's our job to score points. We need to do that better. Kind of regroup and play better next week.
ESPN 360. Whenever you're online, you're at the game.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
This week on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno right here on NBC. Williams with 2 touchdowns tonight. He's now scored a touchdown in 9 consecutive games, and the kick goes into the end zone. It's another touchback for Lloyd, his 25th of the season. Meanwhile, the New York injuries. Tuck got hurt. Number 91 right here on the extra point. Contact with that left knee, so he has been in and out, mainly playing just in pass rush situations now on 3rd down. And he was on that last series, Cofield getting hurt. So 2 key guys along that defensive front, John.
And I think they both have to get back in there. I mean, Cofield looks like, he'll be okay. And Tuck has been in since then.
Derek Ward starts as the running back from the 20-yard line. Hitchcock is the fullback. Manning, clean pocket. Lots of time, but the pass is incomplete. Coverage is good. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Eli Manning will be going to the Pro Bowl. It's funny, if you go back about 3 or 4 weeks ago, John, people were talking about Eli Manning maybe being a contender for the most valuable player. He isn't right now, but guess who took his place?
His brother.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Of all crazy things.
But Eli, I mean, you take his body of work from last year and that playoff drive all the way into and through the Super Bowl and the start of this season. That's a pretty good body of work for a quarterback.
2nd down and 10. Here's Ward. And Ward breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Swings to the outside, and then Lucas is able to take him down from behind, just shy of the marker. They'll spot it at the 29-yard line, make it 3rd down and 1.
The other thing I like about this is what Tom Coughlin said the other day, that we have to stay with the run. I mean, here it is, a second and long. Okay, if you don't make something on first down and you're second and long, that doesn't mean you have to get in the shotgun and throw the ball and let them rush the passer. It means you can come back with a second down run, and that's what the Giants are doing better tonight than they did the last 2 weeks.
Giants on the season as a team averaging 4.8 yards per rush. Third down and 1. Now you've got Hedgecock as the fullback, and he will take the handoff. And the question is, did forward progress net him the first down? John Beeson, number 52, with the tackle. Meanwhile, that's the first time Hedgecock has had a carry with the Giants. They picked them up last year from St. Louis, blocking back once in a while. He'll catch the ball. It's the first time he's run with the ball, and maybe the last. He didn't pick up the first down.
And he should have stayed as a blocking back. John Beeson just has him to read. I mean, I hate that play, and there's a lot of teams that use it with no lead. When you have short yardage, you have to have a lead and then come. You know, they have great runners here. Hedgecock is a good blocker. Let him block and let your runners run. Sometimes they just outthink and outsmart themselves.
Yeah, when you have earth, wind, and fire, what are you doing going to the fullback? Here's the punt by Fiegels, who'll go to the Pro Bowl, and it's run back by the former Giant Mark Jones to the 35-yard line. 6:38 left in the opening half. Carolina by 4 at the Meadowlands.
The NHL Winter Classic from Wrigley Field. New Year's Day, only on NASN.
Yes, it's a glove. It's a baseball glove.
For Wilson gloves and much, much more, visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
Game-winning home scores.
Great moments on NASN.
It is blowing out a bit towards center field. Game conditions always important for a knuckleballer. This one swatted at, and a high fly ball deep to left field, and that's gone. A home run for Carlos Pena.
If it starts high, let it fly.
And another high fly deep to left, and this one's going to carry, and that one is gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Rays off Wakefield. And more shock and dismay settling into Fenway Park. Wow.
College football bowl season continues Saturday on NASN with a live tripleheader. West Virginia and North Carolina compete in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. The Champs Sports Bowl brings Wisconsin and Florida State to Orlando. And finally, Miami and Cal shine in the Emerald Bowl. Bowl season on NASN.
This is Sunday night.
D'Angelo Williams, born and raised in Arkansas, then went across the Mississippi to college at Memphis, had a tremendous college career. This season, 2 touchdowns already tonight, 18 touchdowns already this season, leads the league in that department. He's the back on first down, the fake to him, buys Delhomme some time, looked right, then goes left, and the pass is almost intercepted, but instead it's caught by Muhammad. And Muhammad takes the ball to the 4-yard line. Aaron Ross looked like he was going to pick it off, and the next thing you know, threw his hands into the hands of Muhsin Muhammad, and a 60-yard gain.
You know, when a guy gets deep and he's open, Jake Delhomme is going to find him. Here, it's a double move by Muhsin Muhammad. Delhomme is a little late with the ball. It looks like Aaron Ross is going to make the interception, and it goes right through his hands. Unbelievable. And you talk about concentration. How about Muhsin Muhammad?
His first catch tonight, the ball is at the 5, Tuck and Cofield back in for the Giants. First and goal from the 5-yard line. He looked to throw a fade, then he goes to the right side. And again, it is Mohamed, who started his career with Carolina, very popular down there. Then they let him go, and he spent 3 seasons in Chicago. And then when they let him go, DeLome got on the phone and said, Moose, you got to come back. You got to come back.
Yeah, and he just fits in so well with this team because he's the other guy. I mean, Steve Smith is a receiver. He's a man. He's your go-to guy. He's your big play guy. But if they're covering, they're double covering him, then you go to Musa Muhammad. But then the big plus is in the running game. He is a great blocker as a wide receiver.
Second and goal. Jonathan Stewart's on the bench. He's questionable to return with a head injury. A swing out pass to Smith, who takes it and gets into the end zone. So they run that play again. It's almost a backward pass. It's right down the line of scrimmage. He makes the grab and gets into the end zone.
Well, and that's the thing we were talking about is Steve Smith being a very good runner, being a big play guy, and Musa Muhammad being a good blocker. So what they do is they get the ball out there quickly to Smith, and look who his lead blocker is. It's his other receiver, Muhammad.
Giants can challenge this if they so did, and they will. You saw the same thing we saw, and the guys upstairs saw it, and Tom Coughlin got the word from upstairs that it's worth a challenge. He may have been out of bounds before he got in.
The Giants are challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
So they'll take a look. Walt Coleman will go under the hood.
Dear viewers, we think you are simply sensational. And since December's a time for giving, we decided it was time to give you something special. Our very own ESPN Classic Advent Calendar, when each day comes bearing gifts. For 24 nights, you get to open the little Christmas door to our absolute best. The greatest goals, the biggest names, and the finest moments in sport. There's something for everyone. Don't miss the Advent Calendar every night till Christmas, starting on December 1st. Only on ESPN Classic.
In this league, if there's a hole, no matter how small, you got to be able to get through it. Check this out. Yeah! In your league, you better pick me. Your move.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple-header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
Take a look here. Does his knee go down before the ball gets into the end zone? The right knee appears to be down before the ball crosses the plane of the goal line. And remember, once they go under the hood here, and Walt Coleman takes a look at this, they review the entire plane. Was he down by contact? Was it the knee? Was his left foot out of bounds? In any event, it appears to us that Coughlin will win the challenge because there goes the right knee. The ball is clearly not in the end zone. It's just inside the 1-yard line. If the Giants win the challenge, the ball will come out to about the half-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, you're right, because it was a two-way go there. The knee was down before the ball was in, and his left foot was out of bounds before the ball was in.
So here we are about 25 minutes into the game. Walt Coleman.
After reviewing the play, the runner's right knee was down with the ball at the 1/2-yard line. We'll re-spot the ball at the half-yard line. The Giants will be not charged with a timeout.
First time we've heard Walt Coleman talk tonight. 25 minutes into the game. This crew has called the fewest penalties in the league. So no penalties tonight, and we finally hear him on a challenge.
And I think that's a good thing. I mean, I'd rather have that, I'll guarantee you, than the opposite of that.
Meanwhile, big play here. Big first half play, 3rd down and goal. 4:54 to go in the half. Can Carolina make it an 11-point game or a 7-point game?
Well, they have the offensive line and the running back, to make it a 7-point game.
3rd and goal. Williams. And Williams is in again, so he has a first half hat trick. 17 rushing touchdowns, 19 overall touchdowns for D'Angelo Williams.
The Carolina pace has been very good. I mean, they get up and they change the snap count and they go on the quick count, and that's what they did here. Don't let them get set. Don't let them have a long time to look at your formation. Get up, get on the line of scrimmage, and boom, snap the ball. The Panthers have very, very good pace tonight.
John Casey in his 18th season, an original Panther, was with him when they came into the league as an expansion team in '95. 4:45 to go in the half, so the Giants win the challenge. But Carolina gets in on a 3rd and goal.
Come up there and just go in the first sound. Here it is. They've been kind of doing that on the whole drive, is they like to use their cadence, change it up, and as John Fox says, they use their cadence as a weapon. Of course, they lead the league in false starts too,
Right.
and learning that. He said, we finally got it down, and I was impressed with that last drive. I mean, they were darn near perfect. I mean, in their not only their cadence, but in their their run, their pass protection. I think in this game so far that the offensive lines on both teams have dominated.
Done very, very well. The Giants averaging 4.1 yards a rush. Carolina averaging 5.6 yards per rush. Williams with 3 touchdowns tonight. 19 over 6 games on the ground for the Panthers. Casey to send it skyward here. Carolina tonight with 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. At the goal line, Ahmad Bradshaw past the 20. Up to the 27-yard line. Talked about the fact Jake Delhomme slings the ball, and of course, you think about slinging. It's Sammy Baugh, the Redskins quarterback from 37 through 52, and when somebody dies, it's something that younger people can look back and he did that. The passing records, he said, John, he played defense, he intercepted a lot of passes, and he still holds the punting mark for a season.
Yeah, Sammy Baugh was a great player, and he was one of the originals in the Hall of Fame. And he was in the first Hall of Fame class. And when you think of pro football and you think of quarterbacks and you think of Hall of Famers, he was one of the first guys I always thought of, Sammy Baugh.
Just love being down on the farm in Texas. 3-yard gain here for Jacobs. How good was he when he retired in 52? He held the record for passes, completions, passing yards, touchdown passes, punts, as we said. He was a great defensive back, and until his death, he was the oldest living Hall of Famer.
And I'll tell you something I always loved about Sammy Baugh is he enjoyed modern day football. He wasn't jealous of it. It wasn't one of those things, boy, back in my day was better. He says football's better today, players are better today, everything. He always said that, and I always respected him for that.
2nd down and 7, and that's Kevin Boss who makes the catch, and Boss will have a first down. The tight end there taken down by Chris Harris.
I think one thing the Giants have to do is just stay with their game plan. I mean, they have a good game plan. I mean, they, a ball control type passing, using play action pass, doing that type of thing, staying with the run. I don't think, because the score has gotten away a little here, 21-10, I don't think they have to adjust in any way their offensive game plan.
From the 45-yard line, in the pocket, Manning throws over the middle, and looking for a flag. The pass is incomplete. Is Dominic Hickson. There is no flag. The coverage on the play by Chris Gamble. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I think that was just good coverage by number 20, Chris Gamble. You see he's up there, and as he pushes him a little there, then he starts the cut. Looks like maybe he was holding his left arm there as he put his own left arm in to knock the ball down.
Second down and 10. Jacobs. The running back behind Hitchcock. And Manning is going to go down. Coming around from his left defensive end spot, and the outside linebacker spot is Thomas Davis. Comes off the edge on the left side of the linebacker. Takes Manning down.
Yeah, and Thomas Davis is the guy that they use as a blitzer. And you see he started back like he was a linebacker. Then he came quickly up to the line of scrimmage, and he went right by Kareem McKenzie. But if you watch the Panthers play on defense, if they're going to blitz a single linebacker, it's usually Thomas Davis. He came here as a safety.
3rd and 16. Manning out of the gun. Dumps it off, but that will go nowhere. Reading the play perfectly as Derek Ward takes it in. Ken Lucas comes up from the corner and takes him down, and that will be a loss of 6, and the Giants on 4th and 22 will have to bring Fiegels in.
Well, and they did get away from their game plan a little and thought that they had to make up something there, and it all started on the last series with that Hitchcock run on 3rd down. They didn't make it, and they came back on this series, and on 2nd down, instead of running, they felt that they had a pass, and earlier they were very successful on 2nd down runs.
Talked about Ball holding the record for most punts when he retired. Fiegels is the current record holder. That's a fair catch made by Mark Jones with 2:06 to go in the half. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet? By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And by Toyota and the line of scrimmage. By the way, John, if Ace Parker is listening, my apologies. I thought that Ball was the oldest living Hall of Famer, but Ace is actually 2 years. So if Ace is listening tonight, and I hope you are, God bless you if you are, Ace. My apologies.
Happy holidays to you, Ace.
You bet. They swing the pass out. They love to do that 3rd time tonight. Down the line it goes to Smith, but this time the Giants are there in force. Antonio Pierce leading the brigade. We come to the 2-minute warning. The Carolina Panthers trying to make sure the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC goes through Charlotte, up by 11.
Live NHL this Tuesday.
Sidney Crosby jams it in.
The Lightning look to regain their scoring strike, but they face the thunderous power of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The shot.
Then 2 Top Guns from the West battle for a win. Canucks, Sharks.
Score!
A live NHL doubleheader Tuesday night on NASN.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
With the first choice in the 2004 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Eli Manning. The San Diego Chargers and the New York Giants have exchanged their draft picks. The 11th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Ben Roethlisberger.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are Super Bowl champions.
And the Giants, with the most improbable win in recent memory, have won Super Bowl 42.
And they wanna show.
It's only 22 inches tall, but it stands the test of time. It weighs in at just 7 pounds, but it carries the weight of glory. It shines with a piercing glare and burns like a furious fire. It's what dreamers dream of and what champions embrace. The Vince Lombardi Trophy. Who will hold it next? The NFL Playoffs on NASN.
Hudson River. Bob, Chris, and the gang will be there. Big wins today for Miami and New England and San Diego. Wrenching losses for the Jets and the Broncos. They'll discuss it all on the Toyota halftime show. Carolina with 2 timeouts as we play the final 2 minutes of the half. And we begin with Williams going nowhere. D'Angelo Williams taken down by Cofield and Kiwanuka. Second down, and a timeout is taken here by New York.
Yeah, we see that Cofield is back in there, but Justin Tuck is also back in there on first down.
Giants conserving the clock, trying to get the ball back. By the way, the Giants had Minnesota won today. The Giants really would have been in jeopardy tonight. Had they lost this one and the Vikings won, they would have been playing the Vikings for the number 2 seed. As it turns out, Atlanta wins. The Giants have clinched a bye, but Carolina has not clinched a bye. Clearly, as we said at the top, the storyline tonight is that whoever wins the game, number 1 seed in the NFC. No further questions. And almost picked off here by Terrell Thomas. And so the Giants again with a near pick. Ross had one that turned into a 60-yard reception, and this one is incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
You see Terrell Thomas here. He's the nickel back or 5th defensive back. And you see him, he fakes like he's blitzing, and then he just drops back. And I don't think that Jake Delhomme saw him going back. And if he intercepts that ball, it's a touchdown.
Jason Baker to punt. First time tonight he's had to kick. R.W. McQuarters is back for New York.
Giants coming on a punt block.
Baker gets it away. It's a line drive spinner that's dropped to the 39 by Bradshaw, the up man. And Ahmad Bradshaw will take it back to the 45-yard line with 1:39 to play in the half. Tonight it's been Williams, D'Angelo Williams with 3 touchdowns, 40 yards on the ground. Brandon Jacobs with 43 yards. Jake Delhomme, very efficient through the air. Smith has caught 3 passes. A near touchdown was challenged, and the Giants won that challenge, but Carolina able to get into the end zone on the next play. Now at the 45-yard line on first down. Out of the gun. Manning flanked by Ward. Inside handoff. Ward is able to bust it free. Inside the 40. Inside the 30. Forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Chris Snee, the son-in-law of Tom Coughlin, provided the escort on that one.
You know, and that's what the Giants had to do. Although it was a shotgun run, they had to get back to the run. Here you see Snee, he's a right guard. He pulls around to the left. Derek Ward gets right in behind him. See Snee, 76. He comes there. He just creates that hole, and Ward gets right in again behind him.
Took Thomas Davis out of the play. Ward again. They run that same play again. Takes it to the 17-yard line.
I don't think NFL teams do that enough anymore. You know, they all have scripts and they have lists that they're looking at and stuff. And I think sometimes if something works, just keep running it until they stop it.
2nd and 6. 3 receivers to the left. Manning looking over there. Manning fires over the middle. It's deflected and incomplete at the 5-yard line. Deflected off the hands of Kevin Boss. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Charles Godfrey, good-looking rookie safety out of Iowa there for the coverage. 3rd and 6.
That's a dangerous place to throw it, isn't it? When you have 3 receivers in the same area, that brings about 5 defensive backs in that area, and that there's always a chance that after you throw one of those, you're going to become a tackler if you're a quarterback.
61 seconds to halftime. 3rd down and 6.
I think you want to keep the ball outside. If you got a big play guy in this situation, it has to be Steve Smith.
Giants bunching 3 receivers to the right. Manning will throw over the middle and is lucky that one wasn't intercepted right into the hands of John Beeson.
It was the same thing as the last time. I said, you can't keep the ball outside. you know, you can't do that. I mean, that's not the place to go in this area of the field. Julius Peppers is going to come right there. You see him, he got his hand up, and it hit his left elbow. Julius Peppers, a college basketball player, one of the good pass rushers, and one of the good guys at rushing and knocking down passes.
He'll block shots in any sport. Almost picked by Beeson. This is a 35-yard attempt here now for Carney out of the Fiegel's hold, and that is right down Broadway. Whether it's in East Rutherford or Manhattan, right down at 50 seconds to play in the half. 21-13 Carolina. I want to talk about Jerry Richardson, the founder of the Panthers. He was a Colt wide receiver the year after the greatest game in 58. Came up as a rookie, caught a couple of touchdown passes from Johnny Unitas in 59. Was a great end, and then became an executive. Founded the Panthers when they came into the league in 95. As many of you know, Jerry is now on the list for a heart transplant. He's in Charlotte, waiting for it. Came out to the game last week. They brought him out. His wife Rosalind made sure that he was, well protected from the elements with the blanket and all of that. But John, you and I have known him for a long time. He is a special man.
He's one of my best friends in the league and one of the true class guys in the league. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking the other night, he and I played in the college all-star game 50 years ago.
Wow.
We were roommates in that game, and it was the first time I met him. He was from Wofford College, and he was, at that time, one of the funniest guys that I ever met in my life. He had a great sense of humor, and then he went on, played for the Colts, and he went into business and, made a lot of money and always wanted to get back into pro football as an owner, and he did, and he's one of the top owners, and more importantly, he's one of the top guys. I mean, he's a real gentleman, Jerry Richardson.
And one of those men who not only looks out for the betterment of his team, but he's always thinking about the league as a whole. What is good for football in the National Football League?
Right, and he was the only owner that I ever knew that in pregame warm-up went down and warmed up with the offensive lineman. That's Jerry Richardson.
Jerry, we're thinking about you. Carney's kick is taken at the 11-yard line by Mark Jones. And Mark Jones is able to squirt out to the 36-yard line. So 45 seconds remaining in the half and 2 timeouts for Carolina.
Yeah, it's interesting as you look at Jake Delhomme there, looking at that wristband. All the plays have a number, so all they have to do is give him a number, like number 7, and then he'll read off the play that's on the wristband in the huddle.
So they line up tight here at the 36-yard line. And they're going to run the ball. And this is going to be Williams. And Williams will take the ball to the 35-yard line. So the Panthers appear to be content to just let the clock run down and go into that locker room with an 8-point margin.
They just don't want to do anything stupid now because they've really had control offensively. Like I said, I think both offensive lines have been outstanding in this first half, and the Panthers were able to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and get some big plays in the passing game. So don't do anything to lose what you worked a whole half to get.
Panthers score on their first 3 possessions and lead the New York Giants at the half. Carolina 21 and the Giants 13. The Toyota halftime show from 30 Rock. Coming up after these messages from your NBC station.
So many months and so long since I've met you. Don't even know what I'll find when I get to you. But suddenly now I know where I belong. It's many hundred miles and it won't be long.
ESPN 360. Whenever you're online, you're at the game.
Every week, NASN fills all your NFL needs.
Touchdown, Redskins!
Sunday kicks off with the Countdown Crew, followed by a live triple header of the best action from around the league.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Then, Monday Night Football gets your week started right with Sunday highlights on NFL Primetime, followed by Countdown before the big game. Live NFL every Sunday and Monday, all season long on NASN.
How's school? You doing all right? What do you weigh now? Good. Make everything perfect now. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. There you go, right there. Good. One line outside, Dez. Let's go. Off the ball. That's it. Good. That's way to work. Way to work. Where you supposed to be, Vic? Peel off. Find somebody, Vic. That's it. That's it right there. Be patient. Nice job. Good job, guys. Good job. Here we go. Good work. Good work.
Panthers lead the Giants 21-13. Quick look back at what happened earlier. Keith and Dan are here. Keith, we'll start it with the AFC.
And we'll start where the winner would get the top seed in the conference. Albert Haynesworth was out for Tennessee. That should have been good news for Ben Roethlisberger. It was not. Haynesworth's replacement, Jason Jones, 3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and the Titans blow it open in the third quarter. Steelers were up by 4, not anymore. Chris Johnson for 21 yards, and the Titans win 31-14. They're 13-2, Dan.
Jets in Seattle. Brett Favre struggled against his former coach. 2 interceptions. Sacked 4 times, the first of his 2 picks here. And then time winding down in the fourth quarter. Jets down by 7, 4th and 2, and Favre to Lavernius Coles. The Jets need some help to get in.
So the Dolphins could win the AFC East or the wild card. 12 below 0 wind chill at Kansas City. Pennington to Pisano. It'll be 38-31. The Dolphins beat the Chiefs. The Dolphins are 10-5.
Cardinals in New England. Arizona's in. New England still has hope. And it was all New England. Wes Welker. And then he becomes Earth Angel. Earth Angel, won't you be mine?
And next week he'll stick his tongue on a telephone pole. The Chargers and the Bucks. San Diego needs a win and a Denver loss to keep their hopes alive. Phil Rivers huge in the 41-24 victory over Tampa Bay. That one to Darren Sproles.
Bills in Denver. Denver could have clinched the West with a win against the reeling Bills. It looked like it was the other way around. Jay Cutler for Brandon Stokely. Incomplete. And here's Mike Shanahan.
The bottom line is we didn't get it done, and now we got to get ready to go, obviously, against San Diego in their backyard and find a way to get the job done out there.
They haven't been good at home. Now they go to San Diego, so
to take their shot.
Yeah.
Would you guys care to know about the playoff picture?
We are waiting.
Okay. There we go. All right, let's start off. First of all, next Sunday night on NBC, the flex game, Broncos against the Chargers.
Sell it.
And that is a winner-take-all game in the AFC West. Loser goes home. The Ravens win, they're in. The Dolphins win, they are the East champions. The Patriots and Jets need help. So if the playoffs were today, which of course they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
This is what it would look like. Baltimore at Miami. How about Miami? Indianapolis at Denver, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh would have the byes.
And Al Michaels, simply giddy, given all the options. Back to New York, Buffalo, whatever. Just a little cruise.
Very happy.
Down the 405, if I'm not mistaken, to San Diego. Lovely weekend for Al.
It will be indeed, and that's really all that matters.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all we're thinking about. Just thinking about Al. When we come back, a look at the NFC. But first, the line of scrimmage is at Boys Ranch in Texas for a second straight week. The school is an actual working ranch where football and rodeo play a part in setting youngsters on the right path.
College football bowl season continues Saturday on NASN with a live tripleheader. West Virginia and North Carolina compete in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. The Champs Sports Bowl brings Wisconsin and Florida State to Orlando. And finally, Miami and Cal shine in the Emerald Bowl. Bowl season on NASN.
Last year, they didn't know what I was capable of. Ball. This year, they still don't. Pick me.
Dallas and Tampa Bay having lost. Atlantic
just synchronized highlights.
Clinch playoff berth. Okay. And there they do. 24-17 over the Vikings. That's Norwood in the Atlanta.
Eagles at the Redskins. Eagles could have been in the driver's seat. 12 seconds to go. Eagles trailing. And this one stopped at the 1-yard line. McNabb to Reggie Brown. They looked to see if he had broken the plane. He did not. Game over. Playoff hopes flickering. They've got Dallas coming up next week.
Yes.
All right, and now to the NFC.
If the season were to end today.
If these guys won't cue me, you will. I can always count on it. We've been together a long
That's what
time.
I'm here for.
Here we go. First of all, let's talk about the playoff picture. The Vikings in the North can win the division if they win or the Bears lose either one of their last two. In the South, both Carolina and Atlanta are in the playoffs, one a division champ, the other the wild card. And in the wild card picture, if you can believe it or not, the Dallas Cowboys, despite what has happened to them this year, if they win, they are a wild card team. If Dallas loses and Tampa wins, Tampa is in. If Dallas and Tampa both lose, everybody is eligible to be in the wild card from that standpoint. Now, here we go. The wild card weekend would look like this today. Dallas at Minnesota and Atlanta would be at Arizona. Arizona clearly struggling with the Giants and Carolina as the top seed. Of course, that's still being discussed here this evening.
Because if it were this weekend, they wouldn't have sold any tickets.
Correct.
What about that? What have we not learned? What did we think we know that's changed?
I just made a brief list here.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, the Jets and Giants were in the Super Bowl, right?
You said all of these things.
It's your suggestion. I thought it was a good one, too.
Okay.
Kurt Warner is the MVP candidate. That doesn't look so good. NFL East, the dominant division in all of football. Tampa's defense, the best in all of the NFL.
Best
and
in
the Colts and Chargers were done. Now they're right there.
Well, then what words of wisdom do you have now?
Bob.
Thank you. And shifting subjects. As winter officially starts, the weather has been wreaking havoc all across the country. Tomorrow morning on the Today Show, the latest weather information. Al Roker will be all over it. Find out what's happening in your neck of the woods and how it might affect your travel plans this holiday week. The Today Show starts this week celebrating its 13th consecutive year as the #1 morning show in America. How about that?
Very nice.
Good night, Chris. Good night, Dan.
Good morning.
Good night, Keith. The Panthers lead the Giants 21-13. The second half is next.
This has been the Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward.
And I think it's been the character that's allowed our guys to just not panic, not freak out, and be able to finish.
Good if you're good.
Matt Meyer coming at you. Oh! You can't handle but no look?
We've got to take great stock in all the little things, and all that's going to matter.
Good save.
Is that helmet still fitting?
Yeah, they pumped it up. Catch, Pat. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Good job, LA.
And we have to focus on today and doing things right today, and then we'll move on tomorrow, and the rest of it will be out there waiting for it.
There you go, there you go. Good ball. Way to give him a chance. Find your coach, find your coach, find your coach. Find your coach.